Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are discussing magnetic separations, and now we will discuss the second type of magnetic separators, which are magnetic pulleys, and one of them is shown here in the figure. In this configuration, the magnet is embedded in the head pulley of the conveyor. As the pulley spins, the magnetic force grabs the ferrous particles and carries them around and under the pulley, as it was shown in the figure previously, until the natural belt separation from the face of the pulley forces the particles to fall in the separate bin. While suppliers are cautious of recommending a pulley versus an overhead magnet unless they know the specifications, generally it is regarded that a pulley will pull out finer particles rather than the overhead magnet. This is a better sorting is possible because material is closer to the magnet in this case. As far as the pulley is concerned, the gravity is working in its favor as compared to the overhead magnets, where the magnets had to work against the gravity because they had to pull, the overhead magnets had to pull the materials which are falling down. But in this case, the pulley is not exerting any extra force opposite to the gravity. However, this method may not be effective in pulling off larger pieces of material, or if some material is trapped on top of the material stream. Another drawback is the strength of the magnet is limited by the size of the pulley. Usually a magnetic pulley can achieve only 6 to 7 inches of penetration. This is the third type, drum magnets, and it has been one of the arrangements is shown here. Now we will discuss it in a little detail. So the drum separators consist of non-magnetic drum fitted with 3 to 6 permanent magnet, as it was shown. It is composed of ceramic or rare earth metal magnetic alloys. The drum has a uniform motion over a moving stream, and mostly the feed is wet. Both ferromagnetic and paramagnetic materials can be picked up by the rotating drum. As the drum moves up, the concentrate is compressed, dewatered and discharged. The drum rotation can be clockwise or counterclockwise. And this type of separation produces extremely clean magnetic concentrate. Drum magnets are similar to pulley in the sense that the magnet is not moving. However, in the drum magnet, the magnetic element is stationary and positioned only on one side. These are normally fed by a vibratory feeder or conveyor. As with all types of magnetic separation equipment, the incoming feed must be controlled so that it does not overwhelm the ability of the magnets to pull out ferrous materials. So now we will discuss some operational considerations while considering magnetic separators. So the processors must consider the depth of the material that will be processed, which is referred to as burden depth. We will see the definition in the next slide. The range of the particle size, conveyor troughing, speed, width and overall capacity of the conveyor, and also the density of the material stream. So this in the bottom picture is showing the conveyor troughing. It's this slightly higher ends so that the material does not fall off. Conveyor troughing applies only to the overhead magnets because conveyors normally run in a concave fashion. This is shown in the figure at the top, that there is a slight dip in this conveyor belt, and that is being referred here as the concave fashion, so the material does not fall off. But sometimes we can also apply this troughing so that the material does not fall off. Overhead magnets must be able to reach into the trough. So now there is a little bit dip also, so the magnet has to even reach the magnetic field, should penetrate more in the depth. Idlers on the end of the conveyors are normally inclined at certain angles to create the trough. Now we will see the definition of burden depth. It is the average depth of the material on the conveyor belt, and it is useful to determine maximum amount of material that the magnetic field must penetrate, so that no material is left with no action by the magnetic field. The magnetic field must be able to penetrate throughout all the depth of the material it is processing. Many suppliers provide some charts and data about the burden depth and all other related data for different throughputs, so that the processors, the companies which are utilizing these magnetic separators, can design their system accordingly. There are two types of magnetic separators: low intensity versus high intensity. Low intensity separators are suitable for large particle size range. When the size range is huge, when there is a lot of difference in the smallest and the largest particle, and wide size distribution exists, then the low intensity separators are suitable. Dry belt separators can separate large particles up to few hundred millimeters. Wet separators are usually meant for fine ferromagnetic materials. These are all general rules. They consist of rotating drum with stationary permanent magnets. We just discussed this, the drum magnets. They can either have concurrent tanks or counter rotation tanks. These are shown in these two figures. In concurrent separators, the flow of slurry is concurrent with the separator. So we can see that the feed is going here, and also the movement is in the same direction. It is moving counterclockwise, and its movement of the drum is same as the movement of the feed. A counter current device has a non-magnetic flow direction counter current. So here we can see that the feed is going this way, while the feed is going this way, and the drum is rotating clockwise. So the direction of feed and the direction of tank is opposite to each other. So the difference is basically in the feed point. So the concurrent devices can tolerate up to 8 mm of particle size. This is the diameter range. As for the high intensity separators, the basically difference is in the strength of the magnetic field, and that can be up to 1 Tesla. That is all, students, for the magnetic separators. In the next video we will discuss about eddy current separation. Thank you.